Arkveld is the flagship monster for Monster Hunter Wilds. A monster whom at first I was afraid would be another Elder Dragon fitting the mold as the flagship for the newer generation. I have issues with having Elders for flagships, but that's beyond the scope of this video. However, I will explain that in the video in the future. As it stands, the Monster Hunter Wilds Beta 2 Part 1 has concluded, and now I want to speak my piece on him and what I thought of him with the limited time I had to hunt. The first thing I noticed about Ark was that he was actually a pseudo-wyvern. Think monsters more like Tigrex, Barioth, Nargacuga, etc. The most telling feature is the wings and arms that are attached together. Sometimes there's an evolutionary change to the monster that gives the arm wing thing a special characteristic, and in this case, bro has adapted a set of chains to each of his arms. Now I won't lie, the first time I attempted to fight him solo, he got me, and he got me good. Never have I ever been manhandled this much since Savage Joe from 4U. With the monster that loved to grab someone like, yo, this man is a fighting game character, bro is literally Zangief. With all the butter my man is churning, you think he's trying to pull out a 720 super, you know what I'm saying? Crazy work. However, with that said, Simon Belmont has some ambiguous attacks, meaning it's hard to tell the characteristics of the grappling attack, which makes you second guess yourself, thinking that maybe you're in a safe position, or you aren't, or you're enraged to get grabbed, or if you're dead or not, a lot of these weird things that he actually has. It's actually something I really respect from this guy, as it keeps you on your feet during the fight while trying to read him. Now for the fight, like all monsters of course, he has his normal mode and his enraged mode. 2 chains isn't too bad when he's not angry. He's slower and you can kind of see what he's going to do at times, but you still got to be on your guard for some of the wild moves he does with his chains. Like he won't be as adamant about putting you in really tight block strings, making it really difficult if not impossible to break free and run for the hills or catch a stray hit that'll leave you backside up on the kitty cart. He will, however, still be inclined to use those chains to set off a network of dragon element explosions that do amazing damage, and it's still a spectacle to see even while he's unraged. Now, I won't front. I was guilty of watching the explosions just go off because it's crazy to think that Monster Hunters made it this far on a technical level with how they made the moves flow so cleanly with each other. Then again, if you're seeing him charge up these explosions, 4 Chains is pissed. When in rage, Django will open up a whole new bag of tricks that had me yelling to my monitor thinking about how I definitely blocks that overhead Oki mix. It's really wild how many things he can do will result in you losing 70% or more of your health. Some of the attacks feel like BS, but at the same time he does them in a way that feels like he's conditioning you, forcing you to make better judgment calls depending on how much damage you'll sustain or actually live without if you actually get hit. Do you like to run in and go for the head? Nope, get grip. Do you like to play a bit of hit and run? Yo, hold this ambiguous side switch overhead. Yo, are you gunning? See God. I love the fight with this monster. Never have I been so stressed to fight a newly released monster, but still feel so much joy with each fight I have against him. The more I fight him though, the more I understand how to read his movesets, and of course you will too. It is in my opinion that he might be a perfect fight for a flagship monster. He's not alone for this type of thing though. Magnamalo in the last generation was the same way for me. A fight so demanding that I had to get help to truly explain the ins and outs of such a complex engagement. I like to think the same thing for 1861 to 1865. He's just so complex, from the fight to the design. Speaking of which, to me, seeing him as a still image serves him zero justice. He looked boring in all the promotional artwork, but him in motion is amazing. No, I'm not saying he's more motion than me, yo chill out, but the body type of a pseudo-wyvern helps him because that particular classification still has a lot to get out of it. If he was a traditional flying wyvern, I don't think he'd be as great. But as it stands, he benefits from the mobility and a killer physique, the way his fur, hair, whatever, falls along his body and tail, and the undercurl of his horns make him kind of think of a sort of Viking type of influence. Now, realistically, I'm not an entomologist, so I can't really say, but all in all, I do think Richter Belmont is a great monster. I can't wait to see how the story ties him in, even though I'm part of the old guard who don't really care too much about Monster Hunter story in my, Monster Hunter. But with that said, everyone, it's been your boy Dak908, aka the Dick Dug himself. Let me know what you guys think about this creature here. I think he's pretty great. You guys might think he kind of sucks, but nah, bro is gas. So tell me what you think. And with that being said, it's been your boy. Take care.